He's a horse that's been an absolute privilege to train. He's really a versatile horse, and he's a champ.
And Pomodoro's got it won.
He won his maiden very well at Clarewood, and we kept him down there for the Guineas trial. And I think I had White Line Fever and Ejet in the race, both who were group campaigners, both Group 2 winners. White Line Fever, multiple Group 2 winner. And he toyed with the field. He won with emphatic ease, and he really just put his hand up to say, listen, I'm going to the top. And the fact that we thought so highly of White Line Fever and Ejet just gave us so much confidence with this colt. And I think Silver Flyer may have run second in that race, and he came to win the Dingaan. So from an early stage, he was taking on top fields and was destroying them.
These I was in two minds whether it was between him and White Line Fever, but I stuck by the horse, and I put my neck out. I chose him, and I thought he'd come through with it, yeah. And well done, Shorty. I'm not such a bad judge.
And very well done to Sean and to Chris. I think they've got a bit of a horse in their hands.
It's Pomodoro who's in front here. Pomodoro, Euro Silver, is trying its hardest to chase it home. Peregrine on the far inside, but Pomodoro stays on the better one well today. In second, Peregrine.
Jules, yeah, he's got a bit to learn, Unfortunately, the horse in front stopped quickly, so I kind of took over a bit early, and he kind of lost it with me a little bit. So yeah, he's got a lot to learn, but he's a nice horse, and we've always said, Sean and I, that he's a decent horse. He'll get the derby on his coconut, this horse. For me, he's a derby horse. I'm very excited, and thanks to Sean and the whole team back home.
Well done to Chris. Obviously, this female line's got a very special place in our hearts. Golden Apple. She was my first group winner, and she's this horse is bred very well, and obviously being a jet master now that he's gone, it makes it more special. So nice to have a horse like this on our hands, and hopefully we can keep him as an entire as long as possible. We gave him a little break, a 6-week break, obviously with the Triple Crown in mind, and we ran him in the Tony Ruffle 1450 inside course. On the work he was showing us, we were convinced that it was now going to be too sharp for him, and once again top class field, and he played with him. I think Heavy Metal ran fourth. He came out to win 2 Group 1s, including the July, and Silver Flyer may have been in the field. It was really a very strong race, and he really toyed with them to win a very good race.
Pomodoro in the centre looking to run on, and Heavy Metal Governor General is looking to get going as well. It's open. Tandraki in the middle. Pomodoro in the middle's picked it up in the closing stages, and Pomodoro has raced away and has won it well.
This is really a smart horse. It gave me such a good feel. I do work him back home, but he's not the same horse back home as he's in a race. The type of horse you're only going to see his best when he goes over 2,000 metres also. He's really gave me a good feel today. He's still very dumb and mature. He actually won without me even doing anything. He got there and done it himself, and he had lots in the tank. So he's really given me a good feel. I think you're going to see a lot of him.
The Classic, once again, very strong field. Wai Chong Mowing rode him that day. And what a lot of people failed to see is how much interference he found that day. He got beaten a short head by Slumdog Millionaire. They called for a photograph, and Slumdog in his own right was a top horse. But if people had to just watch the replay and see what happened to Pomodoro, he basically gets T-boned by a horse called Winter Mischief. I think it was ridden by Keegan Latham. And he lost his stride completely, and it took Wai Chong another couple of 100 meters just to gather him up again and let him start finding his stride. And when he took off, he came with a sustained finish and was very unlucky not to get his head down on the line. I think stride past the post, he was a half a length in front, and I think that race cost him champion 3-year-old. So it was a very important race for us, and yet the public didn't actually see what happened.
Over to the outside, Pomodoro in the white caps now flying, and Pomodoro very close.
The Derby, Wai Chong had given me a lot of confidence in the Classic to say whatever beats him in the Derby will win. He was labouring in the closing stages, and it was quite a rough race, and he did get up to share, and he was doing his best work late once again.
But it's still Royal Benji in the closing stages from Pomodoro, who tries to peg it back and coming all the while as they go to the line, and a terrific finish here A great finish between Pomodoro, Royal Benches and Bukarov.
I thought it was a very, very courageous win, and he just stamped himself as a top 3-year-old in the country. He had won 6 races as a 3-year-old, and quite a few of them feature races. In fact, I think 4 of them were feature races, and we had to, if we were serious about the July, we had to sort of freshen him up and almost sacrifice the daily news, not in the race itself, but in his preparation. I had to leave him alone and do very little with him, and we dropped him out, and he ran on, but not as we had hoped. But Pierre came back from that run and said, listen, can I confirm to ride this horse in the July? And from that moment I knew that whatever Pierre felt, we didn't actually see it in the race itself, and it had just brought him to his absolute peak for the July. I was very confident of a big run in the July until the draws came out, and I think I said that he became a wild card after he had drawn 20. He carried 55 kilos, and Pierre rode a very good race. I mean, honestly, it was probably the best race I've seen Pierre ride besides JJ the Jet Plane in Hong Kong. It was a masterful ride. It seemed like he had done maybe a bit too much. At the 200 he was in front and the challenges were coming thick and fast, but Pomodoro dug down deep and he fought them off bravely, and that was obviously his crowning glory in winning the July.
Here comes the line, very close, maybe Smanji in a photo with Pomodoro.
I gave this horse a big chance until the draw. When he drew 20, I said he's become a wild card. But you know what, I got to just thank God and thank my team around me, my brother Mark, my owner like Chris van Niekerk. This is very big for us. In Pomodoro, we have the family and we have the mayor, and it's very big for us for him to win a race like this.
First Vodacom Durban July. That must be so special.
It was a gaping omission in my CV, and I'm happy to have filled it up.
But I must say, well done to Sean. This horse was exceptionally well. I mean, everyone can say, the horse won and it was well. This horse was really well, and he kept giving me right to the line. He was super fit and he was well.
I decided to throw him in a sprint just to start the campaign, but as we were getting closer to the race, I was starting to think, well, maybe this horse could upstage the sprinters, but it's not realistic, but I'm sure he'll be running on. And when you had horses like Two Tone and Deliver the Power, he made a very, very impressive seasonal debut, outpaced and got going late to beat those horses, and it was very, very impressive.
Here's Deliver the Power in the middle, trying to unwind into the closing stages. Pomodoro has come from nowhere. Goodness me, Pomodoro's won a cracker.
Pure class tonight, because it's a distance far too short of his ability.
Most definitely, Jules. It's just an amazing training feat. All credit must go to Mr. Terry, to bring a horse back from a July. Not many horses come out of a July, and to bring him back in the sprint and in a winning way, it's truly amazing. Well done to Mr. Terry.
Only good horses can do this.
Yes, Jules. Listen, he's had 1 run over 12. He ran second. 1450 over inside course. He won very easily. So I always believed that he was going to fly at them and give them cheek. You can't be bullish about winning, but I knew that he was in really good shape. And it's a team effort. Very well done to the team at home. I mean, he just had a nice holiday after the July, and he's really just come back on his own. It was a no pressure run, and he's come through with flying colours. We always believed he was a top horse, and I really don't think he was at his best when he won the July. His next step, we put him into a Pinnacle plate. He was being prepped for the Met, and a very strong Pinnacle, and once again he toyed with the field, and he just showed that he was getting better and better and stronger with every run.
And this is race over. Pomodoro Stratum has not popped the question yet aboard Pomodoro. He hasn't even been geared up, and he's going to come home and win a good one.
He's such a beautiful horse to ride. When you want him to go pick it up a little bit, he picks it up. Straight away relaxes and says, okay, well, you're going a bit slow, pick it up a little bit. 2-3 strides, boom, off he goes again, Yeah. He is really, really a nice horse to ride, and I'm just glad that he won easily today.
All the momentum that we had gained in Johannesburg, I think, was lost with an uneven prep in Kenilworth. The fact that we had to be based at Kenilworth didn't suit him, and using the grass every other day wasn't ideal. the fact that he wasn't with the horses that he was used to being with. He was a little bit unsettled. However, he ran a fantastic race in the Queen's Plate, getting within 2.5 lengths of Variety Club. That day there was a false start, and Variety Club was the only horse that didn't travel the extra distance. So in view of what happened, I thought it was a fantastic run. Stepping up into the Met, obviously it was on the back of a very average preparation based on what had gone wrong in Cape Town. He ran 4th in the Met, beaten a couple of lengths, but it was still a good effort. I'd elected to sidestep the Drill Hall Stakes. I wanted a soft start for Pomodoro in his 4-year-old campaign in KZN. And you thought by sidestepping the Drill Hall, you will sidestep all the big horses, but who did we find? Variety Club once again. And Variety Club won a really good race that night, but Pomodoro was very courageous in defeat. He did his best work late, and he did show that he was furnishing, getting stronger and better as he was maturing. His run in the Gold Challenge as a 4-year-old, Julie, was a very, very good run. Very strong field once again. Horses like Beach Beauty, Variety Club, White Line Fever, and Pomodoro was doing his best work late. I think he got within 2 lengths of Variety Club over basically Variety's best trip. And I thought that day once again he showed that he was very close to a horse like Variety Club, who we know is world class. The fact that he was so athletic, I did not have to do a lot of work with him. He came very quickly, he enjoyed his work, he enjoyed his racing, and every time we stepped him out after the rest thinking that he was maybe underdone, he always ran better than we expected. And the fact that he was so versatile, winning from a 1200 to the Derby trip of 2450, inside course at Turfentine 1450, running second to Variety Club over 1400 at Greyville. I just think that turn of foot and versatility is what really proved that this horse was top class. I'm excited for Pomodoro to get to stud, and I'm excited for him to start producing horses and to obviously to get my hands on the horses that look the way I think they should look. It's just a whole new adventure and a whole new start, and believe you me, when Chris and I see them in the ring, we will put our head down.